The day Brenda Kilpatrick torched my great-grandfather corn barn, she had no idea. She was about to face a federal judge who sent an entire county commission to prison. I am standing at 5:47 in the morning, my boots grinding against charred timber, still radiating heat. Burned oak and diesel coating my mouth like ash. Brenda thought she was eliminating an eyesore. What she did was hand me a federal case so airtight it would destroy not just her but the entire corruption network she had been feeding for years. Drop a comment and tell me which country you are watching from. My name is Thaddeus Brennan, 27 years on the federal bench. After losing my wife to cancer, I moved to the 47 acres my grandfather Seamus left me in Iowa. Seamus arrived from County Cork in 1948 with a Purple Heart and hands that knew how to build things that lasted. That corn barn went up in 1952, every beam hand cut from Iowa oak. I thought retirement meant growing corn in bone-deep silence. What I did not expect was 847 identical McMansions controlled by a woman who could teach Machiavelli lessons in ruthless power. Brenda Kilpatrick owned the Millfield Estates HOA like a personal kingdom. White Mercedes. Stiletto heels clicking like a countdown timer. Her husband Randy ran the county's biggest construction company. Between them, they had more influence over local building permits than the actual county commissioners. My property sat in the middle of their kingdom, but completely outside their control. Seamus had locked down agricultural exemptions in county records before HOAs were even an idea. Her first visit came on a September morning. She stared at my barn like it was insulting her bloodline. "Ma, that barn has been grandfathered since before your development was a wet dream in some contractor mind." Then her mask vaporized. There are creative solutions to problems affecting community prosperity. My old prosecutor instincts started screaming. Code enforcement showed up with 14 anonymous complaints in a single week. Then Brenda came with Commissioner Fitzpatrick, offering $400,000 for land worth at least $1.2 million. If I refused, Fitzpatrick mentioned tax assessments and infrastructure requirements that could get very thorough. They laid out their entire corruption network in my kitchen. What they did not know was that FBI agent Sarah Kowalski had wired my house, and every word was being recorded. Then at 3:17 in the morning, I smelled smoke. Orange glow where my grandfather barn used to stand. 70 Iowa winters. 3 generations of corn harvests. Burning. FBI identified Brenda Mercedes. And 2 trucks registered to Randy Construction Company at my property between 2 and 3 in the morning. Chemical residue, confirming accelerant use. At the monthly HOA meeting, 437 people packed a space built for 200. Agent Kowalski team positioned throughout. Brenda opened the meeting confident. I stood from the back. "Mrs. Kilpatrick, I would like to address the community." Agent Kowalski rose near the front. FBI Special Agent Sarah Kowalski. This meeting just became a federal evidence-gathering session. I walked to the podium and projected financial records, bank transfers, shell companies, kickback payments connecting Brenda to a land fraud operation spanning 6 counties. Buried in the HOA incorporation papers was a clause giving the HOA first right of refusal on surrounding properties at 60% of market value. Brenda personally owned $2.3 million in stock in the same development company targeting my land and every agricultural property in the area. She was not an HOA president drunk on power. She was running a land fraud empire worth hundreds of millions. Then I played the recording from her bribery attempt. Her own voice filled the room. "We can make your legal problems disappear. The federal lawsuit, the insurance claims from the fire, all of it resolved quietly, if we reach an understanding." Silence. Agent Kowalski stepped forward. "Brenda Kilpatrick, you are under arrest for conspiracy, mail fraud wire, fraud, bribery, obstruction of justice, and civil rights violations." Mrs. Chen shouted finally in a voice carrying 70 years of satisfaction. "Mrs. Kilpatrick," I said into the microphone, "you told me there were creative solutions to community problems. Turns out you were right. Though I do not think federal prison was quite what you had in mind. 12 years. 2.1 million in restitution. Commissioner Fitzpatrick got 8 years. 14 local officials taken down. The rebuilt barn rose on the same spot. Local craftsmen volunteered. Veterans groups donated materials. What started as one-man fight became an entire community declaration of independence. If this story hit different, smash that like button, subscribe, and drop a comment below. What would you have done in my place?